Welcome, everybody, for another round of Tidbits with Tracy. And I am super excited about this guest today, who has been a longtime friend of mine, who I haven't seen in several years, mind you. But Jesus, please introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about who you are.
Yeah, so thank you so much for having me, Tracy. Jesus Saenz, Director of Airports here for the City of San Antonio. I come via I-10. I spent 25 years with the Houston airports and super excited to be now the director here for the San Antonio airport system. And I've been here just for a little over 2 years. Thank you for having me today.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. It is so good to see your face after too long. So, Jesus, tell us a little bit about how did you get your start into aviation? You've, as you mentioned, spent 25 years at Houston Airport System and you've worked your way up. So just curious as to how you got your start.
Yeah, great question. Everyone that's in the aviation industry has their own little story of how do they end up playing with jet fuel, right? And for mine, it's rather interesting. So when I completed high school and went on to chase my bachelorate degree, my undergrad degree in college, I started to work for United Parcel Service, and I was loading planes out at Ellington Field that really caught my bug in jet fuel. And I was going to be shipped off to Flagstaff, Arizona with UPS. I was climbing that ladder and then decided, no, I don't want to do that, and took on the opportunity to leave United Parcel Service. And I joined, the city of Houston and the Houston airport system in the aviation department to begin my career in aviation and, just work my way through the ladders. And it's been an incredible ride.
That's amazing. I always joke about once you get aviation in your blood, you can't leave it.
No, right?
It sticks with you. Yep. And you stay in the industry for life. So as you mentioned, you've worked your way up. You have accomplished incredible things in your career, in your professional career. So what motivated you? What inspired you to start from, the very ground up and then work your way up to running some of the busiest airports in the nation?
Well, for me, I have to give the credit to my family. I come from a beautiful family. I always tell everyone this story. So my parents have been married now 57 years, and my grandmother on my dad's side was just both of my grandmothers on my mom's side and my dad's side were just incredible women that were so hardworking. We come from very humble beginnings, but I share this story with everyone. My grandmother started working at 54, and she retired at 82 in the service industry. And when I say the service industry, I mean, she was basically cooking for children in a school cafeteria. And I think that had a lot to do with my willingness very much to what we do in, the municipal or just in the city environment of wanting to serve and do better for people, to try and help others. I think that's really what attracts me the most in any of the initiatives that I have launched or been involved with projects or just service efforts that we've tried to improve. All of it relates to people, trying to provide a better service. My UPS comes out all the time in trying to ensure that we are efficient and effective. It turns into a big industrial engineering project for me all the time to say, what are the numbers telling us and how do we improve these efforts? But at the end of the day, I sit here in what I call an inverted triangle to help and support my team on the bottom. They're at the top to help them be successful so that we can provide, what we call a very premium service to our passengers that come in and out of our airports.
That's incredible. I love that story. I love the history behind it because it shows how much heart that you bring into your day-to-day work, that you get to the airport and you're leading with your heart. And that shows, and that's shown for a long time. And I love it. So what is and this is a tough question, what is the most challenging part about running a busy airport, about managing, we don't have to say San Antonio or Houston, but just the overall operation? What are some of the challenges that you see day to day?
I think they're variable when you think back. I mean, when I look back at the entire, career span that I've had in the aviation industry, if I tell you today, it's just it's development and people, ensuring that we have enough people to do the jobs, and the speed at which we can move. Those are just really critical elements to what we're facing today. I think back 10, 15 years ago when, others were, in this industry, and I remember hearing, hey, we're going to have a mass shortage of staff to be able to deliver the services that we deliver, whether it be for airlines and or airports specific to our industry. And it's important and incumbent upon us to do the development that's necessary to bring people up so that they can continue all the things that we have done for many, many years. And how do we ensure that we're improving and making the place a better place for those that travel inside our airports? You couple that, we're always going to have ups and downs. If you take 2008, when we had the Great Recession, coming from Houston, we had hurricanes that we had to deal with. We had 9/11 that we had to deal with. And now we have this COVID. We're always resilient. We always come back. We always, overcome the challenges that we have in front of us. But, if I stay specific to the question that you're asking with regards to, hey, what is the biggest challenge? I think right now it's trying to convince people that, we're going to need people to get better and to accomplish everything we want to accomplish.
Yeah, I think everyone is feeling that pinch right now across every industry. So aviation is not unique there for sure. How do you encourage people to come work for an airport? How do you encourage people to stay working at an airport? What are your tips and tricks?
Yeah, so that's true. I mean, that's something really near and dear to to my heart as I talk to you about having a culture that where the servient leadership is real, to ensure that people understand who you are as a person. Just before I took the call here with you, I was discussing about employee town hall meetings, employee appreciation meetings. We have a number of different efforts and initiatives that we're launching to ensure that everyone across the entire airport complex understands why it is we're doing what we're doing, and above all, that we appreciate what they have done and to show them that appreciation. So it's a culture of ensuring that the senior team that's around you understands the importance of having servient leadership, that we are here to serve those that are with us and that are part of the team members. There's no I in this. It's all of us in it together, and ensuring that we instill that culture of wanting to help others within our executive leadership team.
That's spot on. I think from a leadership perspective, you have to get on the ground. You have to lead by example. And I always remember this, even in your days at Houston, we would be walking around the airport working on projects, and I could barely get your attention because you're picking up trash on the ground. You're saying hi to every employee. I'm like, hey, Zeus, pay attention to me. No, but you were leading by example. You showed everybody around you that you were not afraid to get dirty, to do every job inside of that airport. So I commend you, and I'm so glad to see that still stands true at your days at San Antonio.
Yes. Thank you for that.
Yeah, absolutely. So another question is, what would be a piece of advice, as we talk about encouraging people to enter into the industry or to stay inside the industry, what is one piece of advice that you would give young generations or new generations that are even thinking about joining aviation or airport management? Other than don't do it. No, I'm kidding.
Right. Well, it's interesting when I was looking over this conversation we were going to have. I have a quote, and you're probably going to be the first one that's going to get it, so you can't go use it. But I will tell you, I've had some three strong pillars that I've kind of taken on, and it's my motto in everything that I do. And one of them is, treat others the way you want to be treated. First and foremost, do your best all the time in all that you're doing, and then ultimately at the end, as you treat others and you do your best, do what's right. And sometimes that's difficult in our roles of what we do. And as we encourage and aspire or inspire others to want to get into this industry, the best thing that I can say is don't let someday get in the way of every day. And what I mean by that is, we always use that verbiage, well, maybe someday I'll do that. Maybe someday, that day's today. Don't let that get in the way of every day and today, of saying someday this or someday that, because the opportunities couldn't be more prevalent and more available to everyone that's interested to want to partake or be a part of this beautiful industry that we're all, involved in.
Oh, those are beautiful words. I may steal them, but I will give you credit for the record.
All right.
No, but that's powerful, and it's so true. And you want people to jump in, take action, don't worry about the future, but live today. And I think that we could take that advice for every aspect of our life, especially now and where times are a little bit turbulent, and that's an understatement, but where things are a little bit uncertain. And I think we have to take action now. We need to live our lives. We need to do what's going to make us happy, and we need to join aviation and bring more young people into aviation. Fresh perspectives.
Yes.
So lastly, Jesus, just on a personal note, so that people can get to know you just a little bit outside of the man in the director's chair, what motivates you? So you live a busy life. You live I assume a stressful life. What keeps you grounded? What keeps you going? How do you maintain your cool, calm collectiveness in the midst of chaos?
Yes, well, for me, first and foremost, it's faith, I will tell you, but second to that is my family. I have two incredible, beautiful young daughters. I have a 22-year-old who I say often is going on, a 22-year-old who's going on 3, and I have a 17-year-old who's going on 40. But from the standpoint of, them just being just beautiful young, women in everything that they're doing, they both play a lot of golf. Golf brings out the best in everything as an individual. It requires a lot of character to play that game. It has a lot there. I spent over 15 years, volunteering at the First Tee program in Houston. I'm excited to get involved with it here in San Antonio, but, they talk about 9 core values about life skills and what golf has to offer. I always tell everyone when I'm not playing with planes, I'm playing with golf. And, it's true. I have 2 daughters that play nonstop, very competitive, and they're really my reasons for everything that I do as I aspire to be all I can and to motivate them, to show them, hey, look where our ancestors came from, where they were at, and where we are today. No reason why you can't do what you want to do in life. And it keeps me ticking and talking every day.
That is so powerful. It leaves me speechless. It's so nice to see someone with, such authenticity and such a place of power. And so I can't commend you enough. So Jesus, I won't keep you long. I know you've got busy airports to run. You got some things to do, I'm sure. But I want to thank you so much for spending some time with us. It has been wonderful to see you and for people to get to know you a little bit better.
It's it's my absolute pleasure. Set aside, all the work and the incredible things that we've been able to do. I really, really admire and appreciate our friendship, Tracy. So all the best to you and everything that you all continue to do with your organization, and many blessings to you and everyone out there.
Thank you so much, Jesus. Well, take care, and I hope to see you soon.
All right. Take care.